what a night, special night for so many reasons. And it's hard. It's really hard to be prouder of a group of young men than I am of these guys. And it's like I told them the other day, after that Santa Clara game, and I'm like, you don't really learn a lot about people, about yourself when things are easy. You learn about yourself and others and people in your foxhole, when things are hard. And boy, I thought they learned a lot about themselves here in the last couple days and tonight and what they're made of. And again, we had 4 guys, almost close to 40 minutes, it felt like tonight. Everybody who played stepped up and made a play. Grayson Grove only played 8 minutes, but I thought he made some huge plays in those 8 minutes, winning plays. And our defense in the second half was just phenomenal, and really proud. And it was so cool to see the crowd get into it. That's what it's all about. The students got into it. The crowd got into it. Pretty cool to see the students storm the court and have some fun, and this one I'll definitely remember.
Niko, what were those things that you learned about your team?
Just what they're made of. I told them people are going to count you out. We've got to respond. We got to find a way to just be as good as we can be. And I just think they didn't flinch. I think you learn that they didn't flinch. They stepped up. They didn't feel sorry for themselves. They said, hey, we're gonna fight. We're not gonna listen to any of it. And that's what they did here tonight. And I think that's great. I think that teaches you a lot about life. And as a coach too. I've been fortunate. My 4th head coaching job. You go through it all, when you take over. And for me as a coach, I'd be the first to tell you, and I tell young coaches all the time, where you really get better is when things are hard. That's how you get better as a coach and learn, and that's how you get better as a player. And so, again, just a great response by our guys.
How much effort did it take to limit Tucker to 3 of 13 shooting?
It was everybody, because we got into switches, but I just thought Langston Reynolds' mentality defensively was phenomenal. I thought we did a great job of paying attention to detail. We closed out hard to him. We didn't give him, any clean looks. I think he got one on an offensive rebound early. But again, just we were on point. And even Wilkerson, who's a phenomenal shooter, ended up with 15, but again, 5 of 14, right? I thought we really made it difficult on those 2 guys to get clean looks. That was a huge part of the scouting report. Rebounding and transition defense were the 2 biggest keys. I thought we were on point in both of those right there, and that's what it took. There were no choices. That's what we had to do to give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, Niko, you're already shorthanded, then you have the foul trouble right off the bat in the second half. Are you thinking, how am I going to manage this?
A little bit. You're like, oh my God, like what are we going to do? We maybe have to play 5 guards or whatever it is. But, Big Nemo, he came in and hasn't been. It was like, man, we needed those 6 minutes, and it wasn't perfect, but he did, I think, block a shot and whatever. But yeah, I think, go back and watch the film. You have to play physical because you have to challenge these teams, all right? But I think we got to eliminate, a few of the silly fouls, a couple of the slap downs and whatever. But yeah, foul trouble was another adversity. But again, you can't wilt. You just got to go and make the next play.
And also, the Grayson's chase down there in the first half, did that kind of set the tone in terms of how you had to play in terms of hustle, effort, digging in?
That's one that shows up right on all the film sessions. Is it's easy, and we've learned. It was funny. There was a play a few games ago. You turn it over. What do most teams do? They just kind of give in and allow him to go lay it in, and you got to make the next best play. He stays in the play. He battles, challenges the shot at the rim. They miss it. We get it, and then, man, he hustles his tail back down there, gets it, gets fouled. Now, he didn't cash in at the free throw line, but unbelievable winning play. I agree. That just kind of sets the tone for what you have to do. And, again, we just talked about winning the next possession, and I thought the guys had that mentality.
Niko, 4 guys with over 36 minutes. What'd you see from them when they had to gut it out?
Just, grit and fight, not focused on, am I tired? Do you know what I mean? And just, you're going to be tired. You're going to be sore. You just got to make the next play. And I guess, hey, guys want to play a lot of minutes, right? That's not too bad, right? And so, Cade's been rolling close to 40 here the last couple of games. I think some of these guys are in great shape. I thought, Ike really responded the other night to having to play all those minutes. And again, I just thought his mindset was great too. Him and Langston, and didn't flinch at all. So that's what it's going to be. That's what we have to do. Those guys are going to have to log those kind of minutes here.
You had that midway through the second half, Isaac hit the 3, Cade hit the 3. Did you feel like, and the arena kind of came alive at that point, did you feel like things were turning for you right then
I feel like you're right. Like at that moment, there was that juice, right? That happened in the arena, and you're like, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? Like we're here, and I think the guys felt that the whole game, staying in it. But I agree, kind of on that run right there. Maybe that brought us another, level of focus. Man, we're right here. This game is for the taking. Let's go get it.
You see a very mature difference from Jalen had a frustrating first half, and then to the second half, defense, rebounding. Why would that maturity come out in that way?
He's the one guy I really challenged at halftime. I mean, he and I have been through the wars together. His mentality wasn't what it needed to be early in the game. He'll be the first one to know that. Do you know what I mean? And challenged him. You got to be better, and he was. He was a lot better. And I got to go look at those couple of those illegal screen calls, or whatever. Obviously, the game was really physical. This is the Big Ten, but it was unfortunate in the foul trouble. But again, I thought down the stretch, he really, really played well.
Niko, I've got to ask, I know you obviously look at games game to game, but I mean, could you have written this fairy tale up any better? I mean, you're here going to school, you're an assistant, you're a manager, you're now the head coach, and now you just beat an undefeated team, 22nd in the nation, and you have a court storm.
Yeah, it's I think I'll process it more when I get home. It all happens so fast, but I told him I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Again, I'm just so proud of them. The way that there's why you coach. You know what I mean? You do what you do to try to help young people respond, and just to see the way that they did is awesome. And yeah, from a personal level, it feels unbelievable to have the crowd into it and the students, and that's what I grew up with here that way. And so this is a day that I'll remember, and I'm sure when I get home here tonight and even tomorrow morning, it'll hit me, again. So we got to enjoy this. You don't get to do this every day, and the kids need to enjoy it because they've really put in the blood, sweat, and tears. And pretty special night.
What was your messaging to them for this response? Because you guys had a couple tough losses, and obviously they kept on fighting, especially on defense.
I mean, just honest with them, and again, we talked about, there's no choices. You get an opportunity to respond here, and we're just honest with them. This is what it's going to require. And, we talked about the last 2 days, like, here's the things that have to show up, right? This has to show up to give ourselves an opportunity, and that's really what we focused on. But they did it. You know what I mean? It's not like some magical speech you go into or whatever. It's you try to empower your guys to believe, and they're the ones who are doing the work. They're the ones who are diving on the floor. They're the guys who are fighting, through the screens and whatever. So I just thought they took great ownership of the situation.
Niko, what have you done to sort of prepare those guys to win games when you don't have much depth, like with the injuries and the foul trouble?
Well, I don't know, what we did. I mean, this was kind of our first game with, the practice of realizing, all right, this is what we got, Again, I don't know that we did anything different. You just tell them the truth. This is what it's going to be. These guys know they have to log those kind of minutes, but you can't go out there and say, well, guys, you got to play more minutes, so let's not play as hard now. Let's try to save yourself to play all those minutes. There's none of that. Again, there's no choice. You have to play a certain way, but again, I look at it, to hold a team like that to 33% shooting in the second half, I don't care how many guys you play. That's tough, all right, for those guys. So for those guys to step up and to be able to, the defense is what won the game for us in the second half.
What kind of leadership and mentality did it take for Chanty to have this season-ending injury, and then he looks like such a huge leader and the biggest cheerleader on the floor? I
tell you what, I've been so lucky. I've coached so many great young men that I love so much, and just in a short period of time, I mean, he is a special dude, man. He comes to work every day. He fights his tail off. He's so coachable. He gives you everything he has, and just his spirit through this has been awesome. And I know him. He will be the biggest cheerleader. He will be in fighting, trying to help the guys in any way he can. And you watch, that young man's going to come back better than ever. And that happened to him. It's just crushing for him and the team. But in a way, sometimes those things can be a blessing. And he'll look back next year at this time, and he'll personally have been better for it. Thanks, guys.
You.
We talked yesterday about kind of the challenge of going ahead without Chauncey. What did you kind of see in the team to kind of pull out a win like this?
I think everybody at times made big plays, and that's what we need when we got a guy out. And I'm really proud of everybody.
For either player, just the fight that you guys showed anytime they seemed like they were going to make kind of a run or have a big shot, you guys answered back to it. Just the effort and hustle that you guys put forward tonight.
Yeah, I mean they're really good. They're a really good team. We know they were gonna have a run at some point. They're really good players. They have really good coaches. We just had to kind of sustain and just reset emotionally.
After a couple tough losses, what did Coach Medved say to you guys to like instill confidence in you? What was the messaging and how you pulled this off?
I think one thing was like just stay in it, stay together. We're right there. And like in these other games, we had times where we were playing really well. We just haven't put a full 40 minutes together, and that's what we did tonight.
What type of work did you guys have to put in to make Tucker uncomfortable for the night he had?
I mean, I would say just elite ball pressure, just making him put the ball on the ground. I feel like other teams throughout the year just kind of made it easy for him. His first 2 shots, we just wanted to make it difficult for him.
How big was the crowd for you guys tonight?
Oh, it was huge. We felt their energy all night long, and it was great to have that support behind us.
Isaac, they're halfway through the second half. You hit the 3. Kate hits the 3. Did you feel like the game started to turn in your favor at that point?
Yeah, we felt that. We felt the huge energy shift, that run we went on there, but we also knew that we had to stay level. There's 8 minutes left in the game that we had to close out.
And then you start the second half, foul trouble right away with your bigs. Kind of what was going through you guys' huddles there in terms of, hey, you got to dig deeper and go a little bit deeper in the bench, right?
Man, rebound. I mean, like you said, we had a lot of bigs that were in foul trouble, but, it's up to the guards, to the wings, even just the big himself. We just got to be there to help him out and, help him out rebound, and then we're out to the races.
How much did Chanty motivate you guys? Because obviously being out, he looked like the first one off the bench every single time cheering for you guys. What else has he done to get you going?
Oh, yeah, he's a great teammate. Even with him out, he's always giving us energy, like pointing stuff out on the court for us and really just keeping us going, like telling us keep our head up, keep going, like that type of stuff. So it's a lot. It's a huge help. Yeah, I just want to say Chanty is our emotional leader. He's the reason that we go. He's the reason, we got this win tonight. He was with us, especially as soon as he got out the boot. He was there every step. He didn't care. He was there.
Do you think you guys maybe found an identity tonight in terms of the fight and hustle that you have to play with if you're going to be shorthanded?
Yeah, we just got to take more focus on the defensive end. I mean, we saw it tonight. We got stops. We took our time on offense. We didn't turn over the ball as much as we did in the past couple of games, and, just got us to win tonight.
Is there anything you guys did over the last couple of days after Chanty's injury to kind of bond together?
Yeah, like it's what we always do. We're always together, like always cracking jokes, just like staying close, and we got Chanty's back as well, so we're gonna play for him and play as the best we can.
Anything else for the players?
And one last thing, the chase down that Grayson had there in the first half, was that sort of symbolic of this effort that you guys needed tonight?
Yeah, Grayson once again is another winner on our team. I mean, that block probably was the biggest player, one of the biggest plays of the game. That could have been an easy 2 points. Momentum goes down, but he runs all the way down from the top of the key and goes to get the block.
I think that set the tone as well early in the game. Someone sprints back, gets a play like that motivates everybody to get going.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.